Pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. If you consider yourself a victim, you are not going to have a good life. If, however, you refuse to think of yourself as a victim, if you refuse to let your inner self be conquered by your external circumstances, you are likely to have a good life, no matter what turn your external circumstances take. If we seek social status, we give other people power over us. We have to do things calculated to make them admire us, and we have to refrain from doing things that will trigger their disfavor. It is, after all, hard to know what to choose when you aren't really sure what you want. We need, in other words, to learn how to enjoy things without feeling entitled to them and without clinging to them. We can either spend this moment wishing it could be different, or we can embrace this moment. The problem is that bad men obey their lusts as servants obey their masters, and because they cannot control their desires, they can never find contentment. It is impossible that happiness and yearning for what is not present should ever be united. More generally, when we find ourselves irritated by someone's shortcomings, we should pause to reflect on our own shortcomings. Most of us are living the dream living, that is, the dream we once had for ourselves. One key to happiness, then, is to forestall the adaptation process. We need to take steps to prevent ourselves from taking for granted, once we get them, the things we worked so hard to get. It will help us to overcome our anger if we remind ourselves that our behavior also angers other people. We should love all of our dear ones, but always with the thought that we have no promise that we may keep them forever. No promise even that we may keep them for long. The worse a man is, the less likely he is to accept constructive criticism. One wonderful way to tame our tendency to always want more is to persuade ourselves to want the things we already have. People who achieve luxurious lifestyles are rarely satisfied. Experiencing luxury only whets their appetite for even more luxury. We must take care to be the user, but not the slave, of the gifts of fortune. One reason children are capable of joy is because they take almost nothing for granted. And although wealth can procure for us physical luxuries and various pleasures of the senses, it can never bring us contentment or banish our grief. A grand goal in living is the first component of a philosophy of life. Indeed, when we awaken in the morning rather than lazily lying in bed, we should tell ourselves that we must get up to do the proper work of man. the work we were created to perform. The easiest way for us to gain happiness is to learn how to want the things we already have. We are very much responsible for our happiness as well as our unhappiness. Only when we assume responsibility for our happiness that we will have a reasonable chance of gaining it. Although it might not be possible to eliminate grief from our life, it is possible to take steps to minimize the amount of grief we experience over the course of a lifetime. Our goal should therefore be to become indifferent to other people's opinions of us. If we can succeed in doing this, we will improve the quality of our life. It is better to fall in with crows than with flatterers, for in the one case you are devoured when dead, in the other case while alive. Some things are up to us and some are not up to us. The Stoics pointed to two principal sources of human unhappiness: our insatiability and our tendency to worry about things beyond our control, and they developed techniques for removing these sources of unhappiness from our life.